they're getting there. And that's getting us right there, the old tar spot. But it is really drying down. Anyway, everyone back, welcome back. It's been a while since I posted anything. We haven't had a whole lot going on. I didn't make any videos, or we took a couple pictures of making hay, but we did get all the third crop done. So that was the end of that anyway. Yesterday, I took the week off of work this week. This week I've been doing a little bit of catching up on some maintenance stuff, a little bit here and there, and in making my own stuff to do maintenance on, because I'm breaking things. But yesterday I spent the better part of the day up here with the mower, mowing like the beginning of these fields here and these little corners, waterways. We left a path along the edge of the field in the woods right there all the way to the back, because they were talking about coming out and logging earlier this summer, later in the spring, and they never did, but I did mow that, and I will talk about that a little later on why I mowed that. Well, mainly because we didn't want to get a bunch of grass stuff in the beans when we were combining it, but we got some other projects that we have to take care of. But yeah, I made a mistake yesterday when I was mowing, because it was like 90 degrees out, and I had more on the 684 for several reasons. Because it's a small mower, it's only 5 foot. The tractor isn't very wide. The other tractors are way too wide for it. It runs over more stuff than it actually mows. And then tractor is a little bit lower to the ground, so it gets underneath like trees and stuff without knocking me off. And it's a little more stable on the hillsides if I get somewhere that's a little sketchy on mowing. Problem with that is I was mowing, like 10-foot tall ragweed right there, and burdock, which is right in there also. And I was wearing a cutoff t-shirt yesterday because say it was 90. And let's just say I'm a little itchy today after showering twice at this point now. I'm a little better now than I was a couple hours ago, but man, it's pretty rough sleeping last night. So anyway, I'll take you for a little rip around here and show you what all I've done here. Like that's a waterway there, mowed all the way up. It goes up to the strip of corn up there. There's the beans here, there's a strip of corn, there's a strip of beans, and then there's a strip of corn. Well, it stops at that strip of corn. So I'll put you on pause for a second here. So here's another waterway. This one goes up actually a little farther than the other one did, even though it's the same strips. They just come around the corner. And then that one, actually, there's a little jug that goes up in that way too. But yeah, this was all full of burdock that's 10 foot tall right there in this area. So yeah, I got good and itchy yesterday. I should have been up here doing this summer before all those burdocks went to seed. But time happens and it kind of gets out of your control. So then we're over here show you what our little project that we need to do is. Up on that field up there, there's beans. And this right here used to be the path we used to take when it was hay, because last year we ended up having hay. It was hay in that last year, so we no-tilled beans into it. And then we're going to turn it back into hay again, because So we've been climbing this hillside right here with all the haying equipment. Well, we can't climb that with the combine or come down it. I don't want to. There's supposed to be a road right here. Well, that's all the wider the road is right now. Because there's a big hole right here, washed out, because all the stuff runs from up that way, all the way down through here, and up in that way too, and washed a big hole in it right there. So we got a guy coming in with a cat. He's gonna clean this up, make the road wider, so we can get up through there with the combine and the other machinery. Probably gonna knock this tree down. I would say probably just bury it in a ditch, and then make the road wide enough to get through there with the combine. So yeah, and then he's gonna go up through the hill here, through the woods, down on the backside, which it comes behind the machine shed. He's gonna build a road back there too, because of flooding in the past. We need to be able to get up into the pasture all the way up to the line fence back here in the bottom, and we can't because the roads have all been washed out, and the temporary stuff we kept fixing up has just finally decided that wasn't going to work anymore. So anyway, we'll run back home and we'll show you maybe some of the projects I got going on in the shed that I have created for myself, let's just say yesterday. Now I'm on the other side of the ridge. So like the soybeans are looking pretty good. They're turning pretty fast. There is some of it's brown, some of it's yellow, some of it's still green yet. So it's getting there. The corn's, still looking pretty dry there. It's probably beyond even chopping at this point. And if you had to chop it, there wouldn't be a whole lot of moisture in there. So this is our new seeding this year. This looks pretty good. We just cut the new seeding off from it here Labor Day weekend. Well, it's when we would have baled it, Labor Day weekend. So we actually are, what is it today, the 21st? Yeah, 21st of September today. So it actually looks pretty doggone good. That down there is actually fourth crop. It looks pretty good, but we're not going to cut it. The weather's changed. Yesterday it was 90, today like 65. Should have probably mowed today. I could have probably wore a sweatshirt and been pretty comfortable. I'm not wearing one currently, but I could have wore one and not been overheated. So soybeans this year though, got an awful lot of crabgrass in it. I don't know if this is actually called crabgrass, but that's what I call it. This is really tall. What the heck? There's a lot of it. And so it'll be real fun trying to combine. It'll be slamming through the combine. I'm not totally sure if it's the weather or what. I can't remember for sure if this was sprayed twice up here or not. I know some stuff in the bottom was. I don't know if this was or not. So my journey yesterday was to bring the mower up here and cut along the edge of the field here, because like the first row in is in probably 4 feet there. I clip this edge along here so you don't clip it out and get it all tangled up in the combine head. But like I said, ran into a little bit of a situation that we'll discuss once we get back down on the bottom. So, and this is the spot here last year that the tornado went over, basically from like over there all the way back this way. You see that tree there is all twisted up, knocked over. And this field here had a bunch of volunteer corn in it, because this field was corn last year when the tornado went through. So there was a lot of corn laying on the ground when we chisel plowed it up this spring. So there's a lot of it that was growing. A lot of it they sprayed and it killed it, because we told them. I caught some of it, obviously didn't get killed all the way, but it didn't look real great. This spring, early summer, when it was growing, the corn was really tall in there. This is really nice looking new seeding here. See, this here was, remember in the spring I talked about, this field here was corn last year. And then the field across the road right there was soybeans last year. We seeded them both down. Now, if you remember, I made a video. The oats was probably maybe knee high at that point when I made the video. But say this one right here was corn strip last year, and this one was a bean strip, and we seeded them both down. Obviously, the soybean stuff, it worked up really nice. But this one was a little hard to work up because it had a bunch of corn stalks in it. Now, when this was like knee high, it was spotty, uneven, colored. It was light green, dark green in spots. It was not real nice looking oats. This was really nice looking oats over here. Now, I don't know if anything has to do with the fact that one was soybeans and one was corn, or if it just was, you'd think that the dirt over here would be pretty close to the same as it is right here. But when we cut it, it really wasn't much difference in any of it. It all looked the same. If anything, the soybean stuff might have had a little bit more grass in it. Possibly. When we cut the new seeding off here 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was really good. It was very grassy, all of it. But right now, I can't really tell a difference between the new seeding between the two. And this side looks a little more yellow than this side, but that's also, I'm looking into the sun over here. So yeah, an experiment. We'll see what it looks like next year if there was any difference. I don't think there's going to be. But yeah, that was that. And like I say, I mowed here. There's a waterway down there. There's some like corners in the hay field, like over there. And there's a corner on this end that you can't get, the disc bind and the baler and stuff up in. So you kind of cut the corner short when you're cutting it. So I went on there with the brush hog and I mowed that so it wasn't all growed up in weeds. Let's see what some of this corn looks like here. Here. Well, that's a nice looking ear of corn right there. Yeah, and I haven't tested any yet. Mainly because I'm afraid to, because I'm afraid I'm going to have to rush to get the combine ready. That's currently still sitting in the same spot it was last year when we put it away. A neighbor across the hill over here, he said he tested his corn, which looks a little drier than ours right now. He tested his was like 24% the other day. So I'm guessing we're probably going to be in that similar. So that stuff there is a little greener than this over here. So, and so there's some green spots there. So we're still off a ways yet. I would say month yet, maybe more, 6 weeks. So yeah, that'll, and the beans are probably that far off too. It depends on the weather. They say yesterday it was 90, today is 65. Tomorrow it's supposed to be in the low 60s. Friday's supposed to be in the low 60s. And then it sounds like next week we're supposed to be back up into the low 70s, mid 70s. So we'll see what happens. That is a nice sight to see. A shredded up multiflora rose bush. Still got one over there, but I can't hit that with a mower. I don't go over the bank, but I sprayed that this summer. And I shredded it, so hopefully maybe no more there. Alright, now we're in the bottom here. This weekend we spent better part of it, I think it was on Sunday. My brother burns wood, so we were dragging up this ridge that goes up to our neighbor's field. It's our land, but it goes up to his ridge. When we used to rent his ridge, we had a road made from our side, so we didn't have to go out the lane and behind his barn to go up to it. So up in there we cut some trees that were dead. There's some dead elm, dead oak. I don't know if there's any ash or not. So we did that on Sunday. The reason we have to have a guy come out here with a cat is because ours is currently up in that hillside up there, with both tracks off from it and a bent lift cylinder on it. My brother the other day took it up there to clean out some of the log roads we had up there, so we could get around checking some of the fences and stuff like that. And the track fell off, the drive sprocket on one side. So we went up there like the next day with some blocks and some pry bars, trying to get it pried back on there again, and couldn't get it. Tried a couple other things. The other track ended up coming off of the idler sprocket on the front. And when it did that, it pushed it up into the lift cylinder, bending the lift cylinder. So that's SOL right now. And I don't know what we're going to do, other than I think we're going to, when those guys are here with the cat, we're going to see if there's some way they could drag it down to the building so we can work on it, other than working it up in the doggone woods. Yeah, it's literally like straight up the hill right here, I'm pretty sure. And I'm thinking they can probably just make a little log road down through, straight down to here, and drag it across, and then hopefully drag it home. We'll see. So yeah, that's another project in the. We'll see what happens when we get it home. What we can do with it. It isn't worth an awful lot, but it's, of course, when you have something ain't worth nothing. But if you want to buy something, then it's worth gold. So it's sure nice to kind of have a little cat around here to clean up stuff. Like we could have used it to drag these trees out. Instead, we were using a tractor, which whatever works. Tractor's a little faster probably, but I don't really like taking my tractors down into the trees and stuff, you know, scratching them. So anyway. And back down the shed. So yeah, that was my chair yesterday. Yeah, that was hot and dirty. So when I noticed the chopping equipment is gone, we took it to the consignment lot here, auction lot. There was an auction last Friday, and it went down the road. So that stuff's all gone. So that's the end of a chapter here, I guess, is chopping corn, chopping anything at this point. So anyway, so yesterday I was using this to mow some stuff, and started banging pretty good. And well, that's what happens there. Isn't just a bad bearing, you know. It broke the bracket, holds the bearing into place. That should look something similar to that. Then the bearing would sit inside there, obviously over top of the shaft. So now I gotta try to find one of those things. I don't know if that's something that's just common, but I don't know, is Matthews flail binds, flail mowers, whatever. So we'll see what happens there. So that's my fix. I had to fix my lawnmower this morning because the pulley went out on that the other day when I was using it too. So that lawnmower's been kind of nothing but a pain in my side. So also I got the batteries out for the combine. Got the trickle charger on them. Let them charge. Probably let that one charge overnight. Come back tomorrow, charge the other one. And my grand plan is to get the combine in here from now on instead of having it over in the hay shed. The only thing that holds us up from getting that combine in this shed is that light bulb right there. Where are we at? So that light bulb, the cab of the combine comes in and just with the head on, it won't clear the light fixture. It'll clear the rafters, but it will not clear that light fixture. So I'm thinking that we're gonna maybe scrape some of this dirt out of here. Worst case scenario, you gotta unscrew the light bulb because you ain't gonna take out 6 inches of dirt to get the combine. Once it gets past that, then the ground is low enough back here. The problem is the shed is kind of in the shape of a banana because it's built in the swamp. But I want to put the combine sitting right back there, drive it in, leave the corn head on it year-round. Since we don't have the chopping equipment in here anymore, we can leave this stuff in here and shouldn't have any problem with room at this point. The combine is probably going to take up a little bit of room, more than the chopping equipment was, but I don't see it being a big issue. Got the grain cart back from the welding shop. That's greased up, hopefully, and ready to go. So yeah, the next couple of weeks we'll be probably setting up our grain exchange center over in the field over there. So anyway, I thought I'd post a quick video. Actually, it's not quick. It's been 22 minutes already. So we'll if you guys like the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you got any questions, let me know. Any comments, leave them. I'm not sure what that stuff is in the bean field, if that's crabgrass, what do you guys call it, but I call it crabgrass. But the other day I saw something that they didn't call it crabgrass. So, and anyone knows about any parts for something like this, it'd be great, let me know. So with that, we will see you guys later.